Hey everybody, it's Matt Shu from Upright Health, and today we are talking about your lazy butt again. There's nothing I like talking about more than your lazy butt and my lazy butt, so let's just get right to it. The biggest challenge for a lot of people is trying to fire either one butt cheek or both butt cheeks. They'll try doing bridges, they'll try doing clams, even sometimes they'll do single leg, sideline leg raises, all great exercises, but sometimes just not specific enough for some people. Sometimes it's just not the right angle, doesn't quite activate things the right way. Specifically, it's tougher to get to the posterior lateral musculature of the hip. So one thing we do is an exercise that is isometric in nature. It means you don't really move that much. Everything is sort of sitting in a position where you're really focusing on getting brain talking to lazy butt. Now, I wanted to share this experience that I had with a client the other day while doing this exercise because it's really illustrative of how complicated hips can be and also how simple it can be to kind of trick your body to do the thing you want to do. So if you've got a lazy butt, or you're a PT, or you're a personal trainer, or you're somebody who's trying to help other people with their lazy butts, hopefully you'll find this pretty informative and instructive. The exercise we're going to look at just involves sitting on a plyo box like this, or on a bench, or a couch, bed even works fine. And you want to put your leg up so that you're in flexion of the hip joint and external rotation. Foot's just resting here, the knee's trying to get down to the box. Okay, so assuming that you can already get into this position, and this is where my client was, we're trying to do a little bit of external rotation that activates the butt muscle even more. Okay, if you can't get to this position, we'll have another video that addresses that. But if you're in this position already and you're trying to use this butt muscle, what you're going to do is think about it as trying to lift the ankle up, lift the foot and ankle up. If you can do that, awesome. We want to make sure you feel it there. So one way to help you do that is to just put your hand on top of the ankle, so it provides an isometric resistance point, and then you're going to try to lift the foot and ankle, which is going to be impossible because you have your arm right up on top of it, and unless you have a really weak arm or a really light upper body, it's just, yeah, this is just not going to happen. Okay, so you're just going to be trying to lift that ankle, and you should feel the contraction happen here. Now here's what was interesting with the client that I had doing this. She was sitting here like this, trying to fire to get that glute to fire, right? She's trying to lift that ankle, and she had her hand right here. And she said, I can't feel it. I can't feel my butt muscle firing at all. I can't feel any of those gluteal muscles. It's not all glutes, but these muscles around the butt. I can't feel them fire. So I looked at her, I was like, oh, well, move your hand. So just get it out here, then try it. And you said, oh, okay, now I can feel it. So the reason I want to point that out to you is because your body is going to respond based on pressures that are being applied, okay? So with her hand here, what she was effectively doing was creating something for these muscles to try to fight against. So she also had this here, right? That's the idea. If there's this here, then these muscles are best suited to help create some rotation to try to scoop up, right? These muscles are the ones that are going to help create that rotational motion. So she had this other hand here. Well, that kind of changes the equation, because now that this is here, these muscles want to fight this hand. So she can't fight here and here effectively, right? If she's trying to go up and her body feels this, her brain is like, hey, we got this hand pushing down on us here, let's fight that thing. These muscles fire up, and that makes it very difficult for her to use these, right? These basically short circuit what's happening out here. So that's a really important lesson, right? If you're trying to do an exercise and you can't quite get the right thing to fire, you want to check in to see what might be short circuiting. So this goes into reciprocal inhibition, right? So here, this is firing, this won't fire. So we move the hand, then have her do it, and then she can feel those muscles kicking in. Okay, so that's the same thing that happens when people can't fire their glutes, is they usually have something that's restricting the ability to fire correctly, whether that's the quads or the adductors. Can vary can vary widely and wildly from individual to individual, but in this case it was just a self-imposed issue with her hand. So anyway, for the exercise, if you want to do the exercise, what you can do is just sit like this, and then you can put your hand here and then try to lift that ankle up. Hold it for a count of 3 to 5. Most people, again, if they're doing something uncomfortable, will generally hold for only a count of 3 because they're counting so fast, so you might want to count to 5 at least. You want to feel that contraction, and then you relax, and then you do it again. Fire, 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 and then you relax. Okay, so it's a really good way to increase your ability to control external rotation as well as turn on some of those deep hip rotators that are actually kind of buried under the glute, and you will use the glutes a little bit as well too. So if you have been having trouble firing, a glute on one side, or just feeling contraction in the posterior lateral hip, then this can be a really good way to do it. I hope this helps you out. You can do it for generally about 2 to 3 sets of 5 to 10, whatever you can comfortably tolerate, but most people start on the lower end, maybe 2 sets of 5, and then gradually build yourself up. It's not going to feel like a crazy burn, but you may get some pretty good cramping in there. So anyway, give it a shot, play around with it, keep working with your body. Please remember that pain sucks, life shouldn't. Why won't you fire? If you have trouble firing your glutes, be sure to check out some of our other videos. Be sure to like this video, assuming you did like this video, and be sure to subscribe to the Upright Health channel.